what Governor Ganduje did is wrong, based on the provisions of the Constitution and customs and traditions. With regards to the provision of the Constitution, Nigeria is a republic, not a monarchy. And in a republic, you cannot create a dynasty or a king. The Constitution says every citizen shall have equality of rights, obligations, and opportunities before the law. It further says no citizen of Nigeria shall be subjected to any disability or deprivation merely by reason of circumstances of his birth. Ganduje's law violates this provision of the Constitution because it created Emirates as public offices. It created kingmakers as public offices using the power of the Constitution, that is the Assembly, using positive law to create a tradition, which is an aberration. And after doing that, it gave those offices to particular families in his law. He said that only descendants of Dabo, descendants of Ibrahim Suleiman Nadoji in Gaya, descendants of Isau in Rano, descendants of Abubakar Sayyidi in Gaya. This is a violation. You cannot use positive law to create office and say it is only for descendants of so, 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 and so. If the Emirates and their kingmakers are public offices, you cannot use the law to restrict it to anybody. Every citizen has a right to hold any office, unless, of course, if you are going to make the Sarauta or the Emirates like Tortif, because Tortif is a public officer and is not restricted to any family, unlike in the case of Kano law of Ganduje. He has restricted it to families, therefore it is not acceptable. Why did we say this? Because some people will say, okay, it is assembly, it is constitution, it is whatever, or it's democratic. Yes, you can do something which is wrong even in a democracy, but it has to be corrected. And again, those people that became emirs, they became emirs by inheritance. And this inheritance is a claim. This claim is based on their participation in the jihad of Sheikh Usman and Fodio, which was done between 1804 and 1807 in Kano. This jihad brought some families and they maintained those offices up to the time of the British, who decided to use them. They maintained that claim. When the British left, they left them there. They did not enact anything since they cannot do it after 1963. Nigeria has become a republic. It is only through the constitution that you can use offices. So they left it based on customs and traditions. Because now you cannot legislate how I put my cap, the clothes I wear, or how I marry. That is, or how I pray. That is custom and tradition. It is religion. So this, in the same way, what you inherited before the British remains your custom and tradition. So how is it regulated? It is regulated by those customs and traditions. I will then explain what I mean by this. What I mean by this is that if you have Sarauta, it has its own values, it has its own norms, and it is based on certain situations. What are these? You have to participate in the jihad. You have kingmakers that belong to some families. And when Ganduje even decided to do this, he did not understand that even the Sarauta, they have their own system or classification. You have royalty, which is called superior aristocracy, according to this biographer, official biographer of Sariyan Kano Alhaji Ado Bayero. He wrote it. And you have inferior aristocracy. The superior aristocracy, that means those belonging to the family of the emir and the title chiefs. The emir is a descendant of Ibrahim Dabo. The title chiefs, they are the ones based in the city. You have many of them. And now we have Galadima, Waziri, Makama, Madaki, and so on. They have their hierarchy. Then outside, you have Dagatei and territorial chiefs. These territorial chiefs and Dagatei, they are called inferior aristocracy, according to biographer of Adobayo. But Ganduje, when he came to do his law, he decided to elevate some of these inferior aristocrats over superior aristocrats. For example, Sarkin Gaya, he elevated him above Makaman Kano. Sarkin Gaya is number 46 in hierarchy of Sarauta before Ganduje came, and Makama is number 6. So absolutely, it has nothing to do with tradition of the 19th century established by the jihadists. And then again, Ganduje decided that these emirs, he allocated them to some families. And these families that he allocated them to claim that they are from the jihad. Those that he gave. So you see, he's using tradition, he's using his position as governor that can make positive law. So he took that tradition wrongly, because the people that were emirs, the people that were chiefs in those chiefdoms, because they are territorial chiefs, they are below Hakimai. They belong to some families. For example, in Gaya, out of the 14 that were chiefs, from where Ganduje originated his emirship, there are 14 that did it in the 19th century, from different families, from the Turankawa, Zakirawa, Kurawa, Shirawa, Fulaninkila, Bari, Jobawa. But now he decided that the only person who can become emir of Gaya, based on his own, on this tradition, he said it has to be from the family of Abubakar Sayyid, which is wrong. How can you take something that belongs to other people and give others, even if you are going to use the tradition? So you see, Ganduje's law is a confused law. Even the one he did, he doesn't have the knowledge of the tradition that is enacting the law. I will give you another example. This book is official history of Karai, one of the Emirates created by Ganduje. And in this book, page 73 of this book, the author who was appointed Sarkin Karai by Ganduje himself wrote that it is claimed by Kadiri that the impact of political strategy of succession developed by the leaders in Kano, known as the doctrine of Shigege, was interested in Karai, since none of the first 4 Fulani rulers in Karai was succeeded by either his son or kingsman. These 4 rulers of Karai under Fulani dispensation were Nadoji, Kecha, Tambali, and Kosolo. Now Ganduje, when he came to enact his law, he said the only person who can be chief or emir of Karai has to come from the family of Nadoji. So you see, he himself, he has violated the tradition that he's claiming, because originally it's not even after any tradition, it's politics. That's why he doesn't even know. Elementary sense will make you to go and read. He didn't read when he made that law. So in that respect, this law of Ganduje has violated tradition, has violated constitution. Therefore, it has no place in the tradition of Kano and in the law of the land. If they bring back Sunusi, it's all right. One of the reasons is that it is going to retain the prestige and integrity of Ibrahim Dabo family. During the crisis in 1963, when Sir Muhammad Sunusi abdicated, Sardauna did not bring somebody who connived to remove him. And Sunusi resigned voluntarily. While Sunusi too was forced, he was removed by Ganduje, he didn't resign. So if you are bringing him back to address that injustice, it is all right. It's up to him to take or to leave. And secondly, throughout the 50-year reign of Sarkin Kano Alhaji Ado Bayero, all the members of the family of Sulaiman and Dabo never connived with anybody to destroy that system, to create Emirates. There is a video clip of Lammasanan Kano, Alhaji Yusuf Metamasile, that is circulating. where he said late Governor Muhammad Abubakar Rimi wanted to remove Ado Bayero, late Allah ya ji kansa, and give late Tijani Hashim, the Emirship. He said, no, if you are going to remove somebody and give me, I will not take. The same thing, Hamza Abdullahi wanted to remove Seren Kano Alhaji Ado Bayero. He approached Galadima Tijani Hashim when he was Traki at that time. He said, we will remove him and give you. He said, no, if you are going to remove somebody from my family, I will never take it. So that has been the tradition. For somebody to agree to accept removal of somebody unjustifiably, then there is no morality. If that person is also removed and the owner of the place who was there is returned, there is nothing wrong with that. It is, you are only addressing injustice. Because if he agrees to take from somebody that has been removed, so he should also agree for them to take it from him and give another person. So what is the issue? And more especially, what they are trying to do, what they are supposed to do, is to address this issue of uniting Kano under one banner based on tradition, not based on whims and caprices of just an individual who is using the state instruments of intimidation and cohesion to establish his own political interest. It's even uniting the family, because now what Ganduje did is dividing the family. Some people have been removed from their positions because they refuse to accept village chiefs as their superiors, which is the tradition of Dabo. In Kano, no chief should ever subordinate a descendant of Dabo. So for them to agree to be subordinated to local chiefs, returning Sunusi and that original thing is maintaining the legacy of Ibrahim Dabo.
So what is your final note?
Alhamdulillah, my final note and prayer is, may Allah bring peace and prosperity to our domain.